Good morning. As I'm sure you are all aware, the department is in the process of reviewing and revising our SOPs. This is a process that occurs periodically, and part of the process is to identify deficiencies in our SOPs in order to improve them so that they are aligned with not only how we operate, but also best practices in the fire service. Another aspect of this review process is the identification of policies and procedures that may be missing from our current SOPs, and therefore new SOPs should be developed to address these missing areas. One of the reasons for adding SOPs is the introduction of new technology or laws, which is what brings me here before you all today. The SOP Revision Committee has identified two areas where our current iteration of SOPs is lacking, and as a result need to be brought up to date. These two areas are addressing social media use by department members and changes to the state's Family and Medical Leave Act, which goes into effect at the beginning of the year. All of you have a copy of each of these new policies, and I would like to begin with the policy regarding the changes to the state's Family and Medical Leave Act, as it is the most straightforward. Starting January 1st, all NFD employees are eligible for up to 12 weeks of paid time off during a 12-month period. Prior to January 1st, time under FMLA was unpaid, but now, through income tax deductions, eligible employees receive paid time off for situations related to sickness, caring for a family member, pregnancy and/or bonding with a new child, caring for a family member who was injured during active duty in the military, certain situations regarding the deployment of a family member overseas, and domestic violence. All of the specific situations are detailed in the SOP, and I encourage all of you to review them. The biggest thing that I want everyone here to take away and understand about this new policy is how they're eligible for the new paid FMLA leave and how they can go about requesting the time. In order to be eligible, an employee must earn at least $2,325 in at least one quarter of the 5 previous quarters prior to filing for benefits. In addition, requests for time off should be made at least 30 days in advance or as soon as possible. Employees are not required to request time off in writing, but are strongly encouraged to make the request in writing. That way there is documentation should there be any issues. Finally, if an employee is requesting paid FMLA time for a serious health condition, the employee may be required to submit documentation of the covered serious health condition. Now, the second new SOP addresses social media use by department employees. As you all know, the borough has a policy regarding computer use, but this specifically addresses the use of social media and the use of private devices to access social media while on duty. This SOP was developed in light of recent litigation against firefighters who use social media inappropriately while on duty and opened themselves, their departments, and their municipalities to lawsuits. This SOP was designed to help all of us avoid that. As public employees, we have all sworn oaths to protect the public. I don't think that any of us would argue about the necessity of protecting a patient's private personal health information. In fact, HIPAA requires it. But the same protections must be avoided by preventing employees from posting pictures or videos of emergency scenes while responding to or from an emergency scene, or any other type of information that could be used to identify people involved in incidents to which we respond. Now, I'm sure that some of the people on your crews will say that the First Amendment gives them free speech, and that extends to social media. Unfortunately, as public government employees, that is not entirely true. For example, in the 2006 case of Gil Garcetti versus Sabalos, the Supreme Court decided that the Constitution's First Amendment did not extend to public employees when their speech is made as part of their official duties. So, we all need to be aware and make our crews aware of the potential for litigation against us if we post comments, pictures, videos, or other information online to social media that threatens the privacy of the people we have sworn to protect. To this end, this SOP does a few things. First, It prohibits the use of private electronic devices during all aspects of a call. The only devices that should be used are those devices issued by the department, and they should be used for department-sanctioned purposes. Second, if an employee is going to use his or her private device, that employee must first receive permission from the chief before taking any photo or video and posting anything online. Third, any photos or videos taken while on duty, either with a private or department-issued device, becomes the property of the department, as they have the potential to be used in a criminal or civil case. Finally, the failure of an employee to abide by this new policy subjects said employee to discipline as outlined by the department's disciplinary action policy. We all can probably remember a few examples within the last few years of members posting things on social media that they shouldn't have, or creating alternative accounts in order to post. We don't need to name any names, and luckily these events were handled at the lowest possible level, such that lawsuits against the firefighter involved or the department weren't necessary. However, we can't rely on always dodging that bullet, and so this SOP is here to help protect us and the citizens of Naugatuck. I'm going to ask that all of you bring these SOPs to your crews, have them read them over, and make sure that they understand what these SOPs are designed to do, and also the ramifications of, in regards to the social media policy, the ramifications of not following the policy. Thank you.